Um, this, I don't know if this video is ever going to see the light of day in terms of on YouTube. I might just keep this all to myself. I really don't know. I've talked a lot about on social media my frustration with what I'm going to talk about, and most likely you will probably know from the title what I'm going to talk about. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video yet. I don't even know how long this is going to be. This is completely unscripted. I have no clue what I'm going to, how long this is going to be, how angry I'm going to get. I don't know. I know I've talked about this a lot on social media, but I am so frustrated as a Canadian that we do not have, and what I kind of call it is like national televised singing competitions. We have one, and it's called The Launch. Like, it seems great, but when you only have one and there's so much, I am not surprised if Canada has so much undiscovered talent that's amazing that doesn't exactly have a showcase, a place to showcase it. It's so frustrating to me. It's so frustrating. Like, I don't understand. And obviously Canada used to have Canadian Idol and had Canada's Got Talent for one season. And that was back in 2013, 2014. So it's at least been 4 years now since that has happened. And obviously I haven't talked to people because I don't really know people in, television, especially Canadian television. But what I will say is this. Everything I've read online, the only reason a lot of these shows have gotten canceled is because of the Canadian economy and people quoting and saying the Canadian economy is not doing well and so we can't afford to keep doing the show or whatever. And I'm like, I get it if maybe for the time being, I get it. But I don't understand. It frustrates me beyond belief. And the reason I'm making this video is not only because I'm frustrated about it, but because the internet is a great place to showcase your talent. The problem now these days, especially with music and singers, is that there's so many of us on YouTube, on Instagram, just everywhere on the internet. There are too many singers, there's too many musicians, there's too many cover songs, there's too many versions of a cover song, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it becomes a problem when, coming from a place of experience, I am working so hard on content, and obviously I don't know the other struggles of other people, whether it be YouTubers or people who just sing on Instagram or whatever. I'm just so frustrated that because the internet is so oversaturated with singers and musicians and cover songs and all that other kind of stuff, a lot of undiscovered talent cannot get noticed. Like for me, I know I haven't been doing YouTube consistently for that long. I know a lot of people have probably gone through a lot more struggles and have put a lot more time and a lot more energy into it, but obviously I don't know all of what they've gone through. But it is so frustrating to me that us Canadians do not have an opportunity. And yet, the US has The Voice, America's Got Talent, American Idol, The Four. They might have something else, but I don't know if they have anything else. But those are the ones that are coming to my mind right now. And they used to have X Factor. I am so frustrated that Canada doesn't have that anymore. Because I know that some people may say the internet is the place to get discovered because, the internet is such a wide place, and yes, it's such a wide place, but it's so oversaturated with, as I mentioned before, singers, musicians, and cover songs. And so it is so hard to distinguish yourself from other people, and I've been trying to do that here on my YouTube channel. I'm trying. It is so hard. And I know that I knew from the beginning this wasn't going to be easy, but I've been at this for almost a year, and to be quite honest, I haven't gained a lot of traction. I really haven't. And the other frustrating thing I believe as well is that there are a lot of, and I know from experience, there are a lot of music accounts on Instagram that will showcase undiscovered talent. But of course, they have a lot of rules of like, you have to DM us, or you have to pay us, or you have to, like, I understand like tagging and all that kind of stuff, but sometimes I will even like tag these people and they still won't like mention me and everything. And they have like all these set of rules of like, you have to like a certain amount of pictures and comment and be active on our account and liking and commenting on videos or whatever. So I've gotten featured on one singing Instagram account. One. And probably one of the biggest problems that a lot of singers, including me, are facing today is exposure. Exposure and gaining an audience. That is the hardest part, because the internet is just so oversaturated. So as much as some people might argue that the internet is a better place and that, American Idol and some of these other talent competition shows shouldn't be around, I feel like with the internet being so oversaturated, I feel like we still kind of need these shows. Obviously, I know it's unfair that not everyone can get aired with a lot of the shows at least the American talent competition shows. I know a lot of people don't get aired, which is unfortunate. But if you do get the chance to get aired, then that's great. And it's so frustrating to me that the one and only talent competition we have here in Canada that is televised is The Launch. I basically watched all of the first season. It seems like a great concept. The problem is with not having other talent competition shows that are televised, everyone goes to The Launch. Everybody goes to The Launch. And from my understanding of the show, they only pick about 30 to 35 people for the first, not the first episode, but like for the first initial auditions for who is actually going to record the song. And with the amount of Canadians that probably tried out, like there are probably hundreds of thousands, if not tens of thousands, of people that have auditioned for this show and they do not get an answer, and they only pick 30 to 35 people. So it's really unfair, I think. I'm not saying that the people who make The Launch, that it's unfair. They were the one, Scott Borchetta was the one that created this concept for the show. I totally get it. But I think it is unfair that this is the only, emphasis on only, talent competition show in Canada that is televised. Because when you have so many people auditioning, you only get to showcase a small amount of talent. Like, for example, if we had Canadian Idol and The Launch, then that would be great. Because, I know some people might have had some success on one show, but they might want to go to another show to see if maybe they can get more success and more exposure and gain more of an audience and everything like that. Because I feel like that's honestly probably the hardest thing, at least I know for me right now, it definitely is the hardest thing. So I guess why I'm making this video is I really, 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 really want to try and change that. Because, and I'm speaking from personal experience here, I auditioned for season 2 of The Launch. I didn't get a phone call, I didn't get an email, I got nothing. And I understand that if they have a lot of applicants, they can't reply to all of them. However, it's very unfair. And I'm not saying that making it on these shows is a make or break in your career. But for me, I would have really loved the opportunity to at least audition in front of the panel for whatever song they might have picked me for. Because I never wanted, I never expected, my goal with any of these shows, if I ever got onto any of them, was just to get an audition, was just to get aired. Just so that we then, because I feel like I'm kind of half decent. Some people might say, oh no, you're better than that. But I don't like to be too proud, and honestly, I know I'm not the best singer, and I admit to that. I know I have a lot of work to do. I know I have a lot of work to do. So it's frustrating when you don't get that opportunity, and then you begin to wonder, like, when I didn't get a phone call or an email, I never thought to myself, okay, I'm not a good singer, I'm going to give up. let's move on to the next thing. Absolutely not. I want to keep working really hard for this because I feel like, and I've mentioned this before in my Cleft Palate story, I feel like my ability to sing tied along with my story of having a cleft palate. I feel like this is all a God's story, and I feel like God is really calling me into music. I want to be that voice for people who have no voice, and I feel like I can make a really big impact in the world by singing and sharing my story, because a lot of people would have never figured out that I have what I have until I talk about it, and then they're like, wow, that's insane, that's crazy that you're able to live a normal life and that you're able to sing as well as you are, which I think, as I mentioned before, is pretty decent. So I guess by me ranting about this, I basically just want to say, let's change it. I'm going to put a petition down in the description box if this video ever sees the light of day. This is not a petition that I've started. This is actually a petition that was started, I think, at least 4 to 5 years ago, by someone else. The only reason I'm linking to this petition is because there's already around almost 400 people that have signed it. So I thought, why start my own petition when someone else had the exact same idea? And I believe reading from the description of the petition that they kind of wanted it more for entertainment purposes. Yes, for sure. Great. But I also know that obviously there's a lot of undiscovered talent in Canada that is just waiting for a moment where they can shine and where they can actually get exposure and maybe gain an audience and have people that like them and relate to them and all of this other kind of stuff. So I'm going to link to that petition, and we're going to continue that petition because I might as well, if we're on the same, page as this person who has created this petition, might as well just keep going and might as well just keep the signatures, racking the signatures up, I guess you could say. Sometimes I begin to wonder if, maybe Justin Trudeau or whoever's involved, I know Justin Trudeau isn't directly involved with, arts and culture and TV and all that kind of stuff. But I wonder if, someone, high up in that kind of a position is like, oh, we don't want to show off Canada's, artistic talent and anything like that. No wonder we don't have a big Juno show, We may have a big one, but it's not that big. And it's even interesting in past years that the people who have been discovered as Canadian talent, as, singers or musicians or whatever, yes, they have been discovered from the internet, but that was at least 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years ago. Well, more like 3, 4, or 5 years ago, like Shawn Mendes and Alessia Cara. It's just really hard to stand out on the internet as a singer. It's really hard. And as I mentioned before, I'm not claiming to be the best singer, but I feel like I have something that a lot of people can really relate to and that I can inspire people, and I want to get that opportunity. And obviously, I can't determine how big my audience is going to be, but I just feel like I would like to have that chance. Anyway, I still don't know if this video is ever going to see the light of day. It might. If it does, thank you for watching. If you want to go sign the petition, please, 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 please also share it, because I really feel like this is the time to make a difference. And I think I read somewhere from the person who created the petition that CTV, which normally makes a lot of the shows like Canadian Idol or Canada's Got Talent or The Launch or whatever, happen. Basically, it's on their network. And I think I heard somewhere along the lines that it was the answer was a no from some other petition or something. I don't know. But it was something along those lines. But I believe that was at least 2 to 3 years ago. So I think now is the time to make a change. Now is the time to make it happen. Also, as well, any of my fellow Canadians, please just share it out. I'm obviously, if you're not from Canada, you can definitely sign the petition, but I really want this to spread to all Canadians out there on social media, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything like that. I have done a little bit of sharing on this before, but I think this just needs to be said. I think it's very unfair for us that, for me, I've watched American Idol, and I've watched America's Got Talent, and I've watched The Voice, and I've been like, I wish I could audition for those shows, but I can't, because they're so strict on you have to have American residency or you have to have American citizenship. Basically, you have to prove that you live there, which is so frustrating to me. Anyway, I think that is enough said. Please, if you feel led, go sign the go sign the petition down in the description box, and please, if you feel led, please share. I know this is not going to only benefit me, but I know it's going to benefit a lot of other people, not only just for Canadian entertainment on TV and to root for Canadian talent, but also to give the people like us Canadians the opportunity to share our talent that most of the time gets undiscovered and that no one knows about. And I feel like we can make a really big impact in Canadian arts and culture, not only for the Junos, which, if you don't know what the Junos are, that's the Canadian version of the Grammys. But just to make a difference. So please, 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 if you feel led, I'm begging you, please, please sign the petition in the description box, share it. I want to get it mass out as much as we can. Share this video if you want to as well, so we can get people to sign this petition, so we can get CTV to get Canadian Idol back, or Canada's Got Talent, or even a new singing or talent competition show that is on a Canadian network for Canadians. Thank you guys for watching. I know this was a bit rambly. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you. And I so appreciate you guys listening to me, and that any of you who are going to sign the petition and share this video and the petition. Thank you guys for watching. I know this video was a little out of the ordinary, but thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.